bonked. Okay. Let's see. Alright, a port report. Oh. He says to your crew as they disembark your engine. He turns away when none emerge holding anything. He's clearly agitated. Sorry, the man apologized. I didn't mean to stare. It's just, we've been waiting for a delivery from London. Really important supplies. I don't suppose you might be heading anywhere near the relay to Albion, would you? If you could check if anything's happened to it, we'd really appreciate it. West-southwest of New Winchester. Near Port Prosper. Okay. Let's see, I have the goods. Huh. But I do not have previously impounded goods. Confusing. Keepsake market. Illicit stall has been set up near the port, where the doctors and nurses in Magdalene sell off property of captains in their care who require extensive stays. Otherworldly artifact crew. Or spend 50 sovereigns, reduce my terror. Yeah, let's try it. That's a bunch. Okay, next up, Shop's Bazaar. Buy those. Beatrice's Exchange. If I buy one jumble of undistinguished souls, let's do that. Wouldn't be surprised if that isn't where I want to go. No, actually, no. Where I want to go is over here. Somewhere in here. I forgot. I made a goof. What do I have in my inventory? Guess who's a moron and is going to run out of supplies? I am just going to charge straight up back to New Winchester. Hope my supplies don't fail me. Have I ever died yet? Yeah, I've died a couple of times. That's a neat looking event that just happened, but I want nothing to do with it. But yeah, I've had 2, maybe 3 deaths so far. I've had 2 real deaths, and I've reloaded once or twice. Okay, we'll make it. Reloading's no fun. It depends if I've done something. If I haven't done anything, then I'll just reload. Because, yeah, what's the point of dying if it's just going to set you back to the same place that you'd be if you reloaded, if that makes sense. Let's gain sovereigns. Okay. But yeah, I don't like wasting time, so starting over sometimes is worth it. Sometimes not so much so. I think the point is legacy. Yeah, I think that works better in other games. In this case, the legacy itself is kind of minimal. It's there, don't get me wrong. It's just definitely like a, yeah. Now, if there was like a really clear, like, obvious progression system with, like, yeah, every iteration truly does, like, pass on certain things, you get different bonuses at, like, various landmarks, and, like, how far you've gotten and whatnot, I could see that working. as like effectively a new game plus where you don't have to beat the game, and depending on how far you get various rewards. But that's, I think, only the retirement system, and I wish it kind of worked both ways, but one worked better than others. Yeah, what is this game? It's a Lovecraftian roguelike, sort of. I mean, easiest way I could put it is take the lore and writing of a really good CRPG, mix it with a little bit of Elite Dangerous, and then Cthulhu, and that's about what the Sunless games are. They're kind of slow. They can definitely be boring, quote-unquote. Let's see. Fortunate Navigator. Sure. Expensive sucker. Probably worth it. Let's see. It's called Dudgery at Port Avon. Investigate the rumors. Okay. Gazette has little concrete use. Rumors of this or that criminals spy the ruins. A particularly lurid story about sacrificing company officials to unmentionable powers. If you want to find out what's really going on, you have to go to Port Avon. Yeah. Okay, nothing there. Bizarre. Okay, deliver literature. I might pick that one up. I don't have a whole lot of prospects. Okay, so if I sell, is that only worth 70? Oh. So that's super not really worth it. I know the seeds are worthwhile. I was hoping buying the Jumble of Indistinguished Souls would actually be more useful. Now, I want to take a look at this. Mount heavy weapons, so more of a punch. I'm looking for things that go fast. Or just better. Oh, so this is a heavy weapon mount. I got and understand it. Okay, Victoria Market, Engine Yard, no. We just want to move all of this stuff over. Oh, good, I can just shift-click. Nice. Okay. Not engineering, we want to go here. That should be good. Okay, so now that I've got that, I've got 400 left. What can I even plonk in here? Another light weapon, some plating, and a bridge. Unfortunately, everything is still pretty expensive. I could get the canning station. Maybe not. Well, let's undock. Let's go deliver port reports. But check this. Well, you still need seeds and some other things. Yeah. Leaving it for later. Let's drop off our port reports and then get out there. I really want to get to New Prospect if I'm let's deliver port reports. This will give me some favors. Savage Secrets. Chat with the Indrid veteran. See if there's anything useful here. Oh, it's the usual stuff. Okay. And then everything else is super expensive. I don't think I have any contraband. Okay. Well, grand scheme of things, let's... I actually don't know if there's anything in here. Let's check this stuff out. Let's see. Don't have as much patience as Wander. I would have used Cheat Engine by now. I'm honestly getting close to the point where I might look into hacking things. Even if I could just have, like, a ×2 money thing, or, like, move faster, or your heat bar doesn't fill up as much. Or just something to make this go a little bit faster. Because at this point, I'm nearing, what? 5-6 hours in this game? And I'm not going to say I'm necessarily going nowhere fast, but it is definitely slower than I would normally like it to be. And for me, I'm way more interested in the story stuff than the financial aspect to this. And so it's like, yeah, it would be nice to just kind of run around trading and whatnot, but at the same time, I did that in RuneScape so much. And so, like, now that I'm playing it in a single-player game, I don't really know. Yeah, I know Cheat Engine does work, and it's definitely consideration, so we can just kind of zoom around in that really swank train with some really good stuff. I might not necessarily switch out the weapons. Maybe the weapons would be the one thing I'd have to quote-unquote earn. But even then, I'm way more interested in these, like, little individual quest lines than the other stuff. I'd like to go after that critter, but he just pieced. Yeah, let's just get out of here. And there's still a lot of game left besides grinding money. And that's kind of my issue. Because if the grinding the money thing was not one of the... It was not, like, the main gameplay? Is it the gameplay? It is. Oh, hello. There we go. At least I'm getting better at the combat. Any cargo? Bulging sack. It's got cash. Grinding until merchant ship, then get him good engines, but that's just me. Alright. Which is the merchant ship? Is that the really wealthy looking one, or is that one of the other trains that I looked at? Or is there a port somewhere that I haven't found? But yeah, my main problem is just, like, I've spent much of today kind of exploring mostly money farming, and I would have really enjoyed... I would have really enjoyed actually focusing on some of the quests that we've been given instead. Well, this looks like somewhere. What is this? Oh. Infernally sponsored sanatorium dedicated to improving the soul. Carillon. Okay. Travel around Carillon. Try to explore it. Let's see. Before you can take a first step towards one of the terraces, a devil blocks your way. Not yet, I'm afraid. You must have permission from the presiding deviless. Some of her procedures are exceedingly delicate, and we need to be certain you can comprehend what you're seeing. Okay. Write a port report. Okay. Go and speak to the presiding devilress. Presiding devilress works in an office shaped like a beehive. A stone and wickerwork building that stands all alone in the middle of Carillon's central courtyard. She conducts intake interviews with new patients one by one. For a long time in line, you reach her at last. Greetings, nurse. How may we stretch, strain, purify, and strengthen you? Now you've come to Carillon. She is just straight up a demon, kind of. Okay. Her apron is starched, her dress pinstriped. There's a stack of patient files on her desk, color-coded. Corners of her mouth say she knows something about something to your disadvantage. Ask about Carillon. We do whatever's necessary to reclaim unsatisfactory souls, she says. She sits back in the chair, and you can imagine her making just such a pitch to the princes of hell. For humans, primarily, though we do attend to a few other creatures. elsewhere on the great chain. They come to us with souls that are stained and disused in every kind of sordid condition. We make them acceptable again. Most of those who come to us are volunteers. The rest are beyond the position of being able to volunteer, assigned to Carillon by their families or employers. And after a stay at Carillon, what then? What should not enter if one does not know how to leave? Most people go home again, she says. Some find that they're weary of their souls and pass them on to us. We operate on that slender profit. And on what we can get from donations, or from sales of penance and forgiveness. She looks at the blank page before her. But what about you? You look sturdy enough to make full use of our services. Are you afraid of needles? What's your view of worms? Which do you fear more, venoms or poisons? She takes down a page or two on all of your least favorite things. That's weird. Okay. Listen to a proposal to gain access to the terraces of Carillon. Listen, she says, you're free to make use of Carillon. Take a penance or two. Alter your soul. I think you'll find our services very imaginative. It's another matter I hope you'll look into. A devil in rose-colored gloves used to supervise the Gaslight Terrace. He was removed from that position, but I fear he may still not be entirely aligned with the objectives of Carillon. If I find out anything about him, anything to his disadvantage, bring me the evidence and I will reward you. Okay. So let's go back. So we got a quest. So we need a commission. I need way more establishment. Let's travel around. So these are things, but what about the bazaar? Sacks of verdant seeds. That's a good price. And rather lucky to find. Okay. So, we actually needed those seeds. Rather badly. Because this way I can go, let's see. This way I can head back over to Port Avon and drop the seeds off. I'm actually really managing my terror really well. I'm kind of surprised by that. I guess it's because I don't have a shitty crew and I'm not going all the way up to Craptown over and over again. Because I think that's usually where things start to really break down for me. Okay, successful expedition. Just keep heading this way, and let's hope there aren't any more weird, freaky frost ghosts out here. To just wreck my business. Watching water makes me want to both get this seas and play Fallen London again. It's good. Like, obviously, it's slow and it's definitely plodding, but it ain't bad. Some good hits on him. It's unique in a way that most other games are generic and boring. Well, what do we get? I mean, honestly, there's a lot of good games out there. I should not besmirch, but this one stands out as just kind of like a weird oddity. Read the ledger. Some more sky stories. Hey, so we can get that one dude. I don't need to do anything else. Okay, so this isn't where I'm looking for, though. Okay, let's keep going around. Fortunately, I think we want to go south to Prospect. Instead of north to whatever the hell's up here. A lot of graves. So that's... Let's see, a wreck. I got it. Bulging sack. Money in it. Oh, that's a marauder. What is he doing? If he shoots me in the butt, I'm going to be upset. There we go. Yeah, marauders are kind of nice for me. I'd like to get some supplies from these guys, but I guess we get other stuff instead. Anyway, if there's one of these guys, we might actually have some... Oh. We have a mining prospect. We have a lot around here. And we've got supply... we got space. You know what I could do? That would be the most utterly boring thing that I could do to make this series go a lot faster. I could straight up just load this game up between sessions or something and just explore every square inch of the map. Nope, can't do anything with that. I bet just having a fully explored map would make life so much easier. But also just be really dull and boring. Fury Harlequin. A wreck. Ow. I thought I could scoot that gap, and I didn't. Oh. A merchant ship plus best engines makes it easy. Yeah. Yeah. I think the only problem is that would take away from the, like, the exploration element, because that is a decent part of this game, is that... Yep. Why can everybody turn so much faster than I can move? It actually makes perfect sense why they can do... why they can do these things. Okay, Marauder is dead. Let's seek unusual items. Oh, I should have recovered his weaponry, in retrospect. Oh well. Signal box. Oh, this is the one that I already did. Okay. That's what sidestepping is for. Yeah, but that costs heat. And I was trying to let it go down. Not waste more of it just trying to go around them. Okay, signal the wreck. Sure. I gained supplies. At some point I will get a considerably better engine, and that will make this whole thing just easier. Problem is, until then... Okay, there we go. I'm getting a lot better at fighting these marauders. It's still kind of slow and methodical, but that's fine. Raid the safe. We're starting to fill up. And just small amounts of petty cash here and there is not a bad deal. Where the heck is Port Prosper? It's got to be down and around here somewhere. Just gotta slog my way there. Chug. Chug is actually the probably better way of putting it. So you're like a pirate? We could be, technically, there's not a whole lot of sky pirating that you can do in this game. But there is like a small amount. It's neat music. I want more of it. Whatever this is nothing. Send the bat out. Okay, there we go. It's finally found where we want to be. We just have to figure out how to scoot our way over. Let's see. Send it out again. Hopefully we can buy some supplies while we're out here. That's probably the gate. One way or another. This place is Port Prosper. At last. This place is kind of considerable. Mornington Abrathat span. Spoopy. Alright. First and foremost, shops, bazaar. Kind of. I'm gonna buy one of each of those. So they do sell nostalgic crockery. I'm assuming. Yeah, they won't buy a thing I've got, but that's okay. Queen's Cross Station. So first and foremost, incognito princess. Deliver the fastidious inspector. Disembarks with her bag in hand. And peers up at a clock tower that's being raised above the station. Let's see. So accept your payment. Inspector will depart. Be sure you've held any conversation with her that you wish to. Receive fuel and supplies in addition to a sum of money. Ensure that you have 6 spaces in your hold before accepting. Oh. What is in my hold, anyway? Oh, right, seats. Shouldn't have bought stuff. Okay, well, recruit the incognito princess. So, perched atop a mountain of luggage is a radiant young woman. An officer dressed in what an actor would wear in a fantastical romance. A tiara rests on her brow. A steady stream of commoners comes to pay homage, bowing and curtsying enthusiastically. Starlings circle in dense swarms above her. Refugees from old London and a common sight. Although not in such numbers, she ignores everything and hands you papers so pristine you can only be forged. She'd make an interesting addition to your crew. I am a humble first officer looking for... what's the word? When commoners do things for coins? She asks, work, that's it. She beams at you, delighted. As innocent as a Gatling gun. She steps aboard. A commoner calmly takes a spoon from his pocket and scoops out his eyes. What the fudge? After such radiance, all else is tawdry, he says, between screams. It seems she has already forgotten about her signing on money. Okay. Explore Port Prosper. Write a port report. Always. 10 parade. Let's see. So, gaudy banners fly over the painted rooftops of Port Prosper. The smog of the East End is hidden away by the giant posters displaying dragons in varying degrees of vivisection. The cramped streets are clogged with people. Wealthy West Enders promenade about the amusements, while impoverished East Enders work the stalls and huddle by the chestnut fires for warmth. Painted dragon, pursued by knights, is chased through the crowds, to course of Ho the Riding. Fraternize with everyone. Skyfarers are not limited by the rigid social structures of Port Prosper, though neither are they beloved for it. You're treated as a curiosity and viewed from all sides with suspicion. Still, you find yourself in conversation with an elderly colonel who retired to Port Prosper. A bulwark of sanity, he calls it. A line in the sand against all the stuff out there. He introduces you to one of the riders in the procession, who takes you on a tour of the carnival. You converse with the chestnut sellers and flower arrangers, drink in the outdoor pubs, and dance with several of the vaudeville players. At the end of the day, you've learned many names, phases, and even acquired a few calling cards. Oh. No, it wasn't Prosper. Let's see. So we do have to go to the Albion Transit Relay. Okay, well, we can go to the theater. Attend a performance of the Gaudy Widow. Let's see. Located in the edge of the West End, overlooking the bridge, the Gaudy Widow promises unpretentious delights for most of the family. Although out of fashion in New London, the broad amusements of pantomime and vaudeville still carry favor with all the well-heeled of the West End. Though they are, of course, careful to never enjoy themselves too much. She's behind you, a poster reads, "What japes?" Retain your dignity. You might venture a comparison to Moliere, if you feel moved to comment at all. Well, succeeded at it, apparently. And see the business with the lower admiral is amusing. You accept that the vicar being behind the curtain is unexpected. You nod your head appreciatively at the parallels between the restoration of the patriarch and his family estate in London claiming her space in the skies. Your applause is dignified, your restraint noted by your companions. Fire at Fulbright Factory. Windward Company representatives race past carrying heavy buckets. Okay. What about this fire? Can I help? Nope. Doesn't look like it. Parsimonious chairman's offices are elegantly appointed, if antiquated. Opportunity for profit? Okay, so I should probably read about this. Read the whole thing. So the offices of the Windward Company on Port Prosper are elegantly appointed, if antiquated. Paintings of old London adorn the walls. The parsimonious chairman has worked for ruthless captains. He sits behind his imported mahogany desk, a decanter of brandy at his left hand, and a series of neatly stacked reports on his right. Fire's been lit in the cavernous hearth. It is too warm to listen to him. He pours the brandy into 2 glasses, then produces a ruler to measure the amounts. To business, he smiles, revealing the extensive damage to his teeth. I was a pugilist back in London, a young man's game. He stands at the window, watching the starlight bathe the sloping streets of Prosper. This place exists because of constant work, from politicians who planned it, to the pioneers who built it, to the soldiers who even today defend it from the Tacadies. Need of more such work. Bring me the nameplates from Tacady engines. Keep lists, you'll be rewarded. Sure. I might not do some of these, to be honest. Ask about the Albion Transit Relay. Garrulous Captain is delighted to have excuse to talk. Happy to help, nurse. Happy to help. Point down the docks. There you are. Keep going past the port. You can't miss it. Good eyes. You might even be able to see it from here. Passage ain't free, mind. Travel first class if you have a ministry stamp permit. Or you can bring a couple of barrels of ours to travel second class. Okay. Doesn't look like there's much else to do here, at least for now. Let's undock. Let's go there, because there should be a delivery. And then we'll probably head to Magdalene's. Do I know what port reports I have? Oh, I have to actually equip one of these people. Do I have to do that while actually docked somewhere? I guess I'll double check that. Okay. Check on the delayed package. Turns out the previous courier was detained for having the wrong paperwork. Fortunately, the goods were impounded on this side of the relay. Sign here. The board customs officer is glad to clear some space in their cramped office. As long as you don't want to travel between regions without appropriate paperwork, they couldn't care much less about cargo. Package has been serving double duty as a card table for the last week, but it's yours now. The people of Magdalene's will be glad to receive it. Okay. Anyway. Remain in the reach. So, how do I equip these people? Converse with a fortunate navigator. I'm setting in nicely. Thank you, Captain. You got a good crew here and a sharp one. Navigator already has visited every crew member at their station. Huh. Prove oneself a fit confidant. While she seems incapable of discerning between the two, the incognito princess seems intrigued by any mention of daring do and abysmal horror. Or abyssal horror. Rolled by your tales, the princess invites you into her quarters. I have a secret, she says, removing your tiara before donning a second, more expensive tiara. Queen Victoria's daughter, she says. I trust your discretion. It's a considerable task. This must be the captivating princess, the daughter of Victoria, who dwells in a miasma of rumors of excess, ranging from red honey to cannibalism. A half-asphyxiated starling has somehow found its way aboard. It flies to her hand. She pets it gently. One is traveling to broaden one's mind before she takes on a new role. It would be a delight to meet with the engineers who keep the eternal ball of perdurance tick-tocking away. She smiles. You let yourself outside. Gamble with the incautious driver. How much? Yeah, it's fine. You enter the hold and find the game well underway. The driver sits cross-legged in front of a pile of freshly won sovereigns and three newly impoverished members of the crew. Stoker angrily throws an expensive-looking watch onto the pile of winnings and departs in a fury. The driver looks up. Nurse! Care to make a wager? Driver deals cards between the players. The cook and a crewman, whose name you can't place at the moment, watch each other with barely disguised suspicion. Behind you, a small crowd gathers to see their captain's coin. I got it! You spread your cards out. The driver plays with instinct rather than strategy, betting everything on what turns out to be a terrible hand. Your luck is stronger. The entire royal succession stares up from the table. The other competitors can only grumble as you claim the pot. You used to be a test driver, says the quartermaster. The driver nods. Never have thought it. As a child, I loved my trains. Very ordered. A safe little space where they could go round and round and round and nothing could go wrong. Only after a crash that I realized I needed more. I suppose surviving that taught me that there is more to living than simply being alive. Another round? Okay. I'll let the game continue. Let's see. Recently, they've been roaming the quarters of your engine, whistling and getting in the way. Is there something they want? Let's see. Driver blinks. Can't keep anything from you, I see. I've been feeling a bit on edge. Would like to make myself useful if I can. There's races at the Royal Society. Maybe we could go there, and you could drop me off for a bit. It could make us both a bit of money. Take out a coin and flip it in the air. Comes back on heads. Just a thought, anyway. Not a terrible idea. Okay. So now that we've got this, and we've been to Port Prosper properly, let's head for Magdalene's. And then Port Avon, and then maybe double back so we can finally drop off the lady. I guess the other thing I could do is try and make a bunch of money try and make a bunch of money? Maybe? Because if I could get a bigger hold, that would certainly make things a little easier on me.